Welcome to FHA Weekly, your one-stop program into affordable housing in Nigeria. I am Itunu Kolawole. Let's take you through the latest developments in the Federal Housing Authority on FHA Round the Clock.
The Federal Housing Authority has promised to sustain the gains of reforms in the provision of affordable housing for Nigerians. This was part of the conversation at a three-day retreat in Ikogosi, Ekiti State, organized by the authority's staff. The agency says it is stepping into the new year with fresh commitments to bridge Nigeria's housing deficit, promising to deliver more affordable housing units to citizens in 2026. The managing director of the authority, Honorable Oyetunde Ojo, gave the assurance while addressing participants at the retreat. Honorable Ojo reaffirmed the agency's alignment with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, noting that affordable housing remains one of the key pillars in ensuring social stability and economic inclusion.
We've used the first year, like I said, to make sure we acquired enough land. Also, secondly, last year we were able to do a lot about staff welfareism. The people that are going to work for you must be comfortable mentally, physically, and in charge of their welfare, which is salary package. This year is about full construction and delivery of houses that we promised Nigerians. We started our groundbreaking last year. We started in 2 states, Akwa Ibom and Kaduna. We want to make sure first quarter we deliver Buhari. Buhari is about 400 housing units in Abuja, which is about 86% completed, which will be commissioned by Mr. President. And that might mostly likely be his first major housing project.
Speakers at the retreat highlighted the need for a stronger push in 2026, particularly through public-private partnerships that can fast-track the construction and delivery of decent, affordable homes across Nigeria. They commended the current leadership of the authority, applauding its efforts in reviving the institution's mandate and repositioning it as a key player in Nigeria's housing sector.
This year we have planned to have a lot of PPPs, private partnership, so that people will bring money in to enable us to provide affordable houses in 36 states of the Federation.
As the retreat ends, the message is clear. 2026 is a year for renewed action in Nigeria's housing sector.
On this edition of FHA 101, I sat down with the AGM Public Affairs Group, Mr. Kenneth Chigelu, and he highlights some of the crisis management measures which he uses to make the authority think. Welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Sir, could you share with us today what measures that you as a department or your department is taking to improve on public trust, especially in terms of housing delivery to Nigerians?
Thank you very much. Federal Housing Authority, as you know, is the nation's premier and foremost housing delivery agency. And of course, because our job has to do with one of the important needs of man, which is housing, you can now see that it's something that is very critical to every human being. And as that goes, it is bound to create a lot of conflicts, in the mind of people, given what we see these days. A lot of people have been defrauded, a lot of people have been duped, a lot of people have been shortchanged in terms of getting this necessary need of man, which is housing. In Federal Housing Authority, over the years, I think we have been able to carve out a niche for ourselves as far as public trust is concerned. The authority has always been in the forefront of housing delivery. If you check the landscape of the nation, from Lagos in Festac to Ibadan, down to Abuja here, down to anywhere you go in Nigeria, you can see FHA, our presence is not something that is hidden. So we have always been there. We have clients, we have allottees, we have residents in our estates who can attest to what we do as a people. So what we basically do now in this current administration is that we've taken it a step further by getting digitalized our operations now. So it's no more the days you carry files, the days you look for one thing or the other. It is, we press at the press of a button, you see everything that concerns you. So the authority have an open operation now in the things we do to the public. If you go to our website, whenever we have an estate to deliver, it is there in the website. Getting our houses, go to our marketing unit, these things are very, very plain. So as far as we are concerned, openness, is the key to what we do. And the authority, because we are digitalized, we have zero tolerance to corruption. Before now, we used to have cases of double allocation due to human error. But of course, you know what science can do. Through digitalization, we have been able to curb most of these factors that bugged us in the past. So as I'm sure that if you go out there in our estates, people would attest to the fact that there is confidence in FHA as far as our houses are concerned. In our quality control, in the over 50-something years of our history, FHA has never had any case of building collapse in any of our estates. We've never had any. So that trust is there, that confidence is there in part of our clients, and you can see it works for us. We have the best pool of professionals as far as the built industry is concerned, from the best architects, from engineers, from any part of building, in the asset management. So we are doing very well. And we are not even relenting on that. We are going higher. We are stepping up our assets to make sure that we remain on the top notch where we belong to.
So can you share with me how you are able to communicate with the public? How do you engage them when it comes to your estates, and then mortgages also? Okay.
Let me start from mortgage. The problem of housing delivery in Nigeria today stems from the cash and carry, process we have. You can see a young man leaving school. Before he's able to get a house, he has to save and save and save tons of millions before he can do that. But whereas elsewhere, in advanced countries, the moment you start working, you engage in mortgage. And you start paying little, before you know it, you become a landlord and a house owner. So the authority thought it wise to cue from that by floating a mortgage bank, FHA mortgage bank. Our bank is one of the best. Mortgage bank is one of the best. They have done so well for themselves, recognized by all the regulatory bodies, in the mortgage banking industry. So they're doing very well. And because we are, a housing delivery agency, we encourage people to approach our bank in getting these mortgages to help them acquire properties. And it becomes seamless when you want to acquire FHA property through FHA mortgage bank. You can see that, the process definitely has to be very, very seamless. Then we also, in our estates, we try to develop what we call residents associations. What these associations are people, and we have desk officers who interface with them. We try to communicate with them as far as issues on the estate is concerned. And of course, the current management we have also has thought it wise that there must be an FHA presence in all our estates from conception. By the time we start constructing an estate, already we have a desk officer there. So this makes the people who are working there familiar with those who are going to live there. And you see, it makes communication easy. So we engage our residents. We, try to get them, to know what they are doing. We attend their meetings. They have an open door policy. They come to us, we interact. And of course, currently now we are taking advantage of technology. Our website is functional. We have our customer service lines are very wonderful. If you go to our Servicon unit, the telephone lines are there. There are desk officers that at a click of time, they answer anything we want to hear from them. So we're not taking it lightly because for us, our clients are the kings. So we're there to serve them. And we do all we can, to satisfy them as far as communicating with them is concerned. And also our public relations unit, we are not left out. We have officers who are here to attend to their need 24 hours of the day.
I know that this current management is putting in a lot of effort into curbing or putting an end to corruption and fraud in the agency. But when this kind of things arise, when corruption comes up, how does your unit respond to it?
Okay, there's this popular saying that corruption will always fight back. In fact, we have come to live with it in Nigeria. And from what this current management has done in fighting this, corruption, yes, I've really come to witness it firsthand. That definitely people must have to fight back. You see, when this management came on board, they found it very repugnant that we still operate analog. That gave room to a lot of corruption, a lot of worries. So when this management came in, the managing director, Honorable Tundoju, being somebody who has public, private experience in this business, now said that there is no way the little woman who sells corn outside there goes with a POS. You pay electronically, she gives you a receipt. Why will an agency like FHA still write manually when we can avail ourselves of the use of science? So that was what led to the digitalization. Under 1 month of coming, he insisted that if he's going to operate in FHA, that we must be digitalized. So that was what he did. We started by batching all our properties. All our property files were all batched, stored in the Google, and he said, no more business as usual. So that anything you are doing is computer-based. So by the time he started that, there are a lot of people who were not happy. Those who benefited from the old status quo. They started fighting back, right? And what do? As a unit, we are there to represent the image of the authority. Our own is to make sure that we represent the facts the way they are to the public through various means. Internally, we use our, monthly magazine to talk. We use newsletters. For the staff, we organize town hall meetings. Then outside us, our website started working. When the management came, because he wants to do this job, he made sure that the public relations unit, where we are now, became fully functional. We have every gadget we need to work. Of course, if you go now, our website is up and doing. Our social media handles are all doing very well. And we keep on talking to the public, giving out press releases. Then he made sure that we had hotlines in our cervical unit and the public relations unit that any inquest you make, you get a reply almost immediately. So we keep on engaging people. Yes, management wasn't there to shunt anybody. Of course, when the management came, they had nothing in the authority. Their interest was to make sure that FHA becomes a performing agency that everybody will be proud of.
Sir, as we all know, social media is a great tool for passing information, but also it has its own disadvantage. Misinformation and misrepresentation tends to happen a lot. So how is your unit able to handle this, especially as it relates to FHA and its management team?
Yeah, thank you very much. We have core of professionals in this unit. We know what social media does, what we call citizen journalism. Everybody now is a journalist. The moment you pick up your phone, take up 1 or 2 pictures, some AI generated, some superimposed, you can write anything and become an editor. The days when people like us studied this mass communication journalism, when you have editors, who we call gatekeepers, that will filter what goes out in public, are over. But here in the authority, because we still believe in professionalism, we make sure that all our staff, that before anything goes out of here, we really make it pass through the gatekeeping. And even when there are misinformation against us, we react promptly to them. Public relations, of course, doesn't have to do with lies. We don't tell lies. We don't, do propaganda. We present it the way it is. When we're at fault, because we're humans, we tell you we're at fault. And we're making efforts, to amend every fault we have. So we are up in our game. We stand there. Even the management, we have a managing director who is a media person. It becomes a problem when the management is shy of the press. My MD will always talk to at any opportunity, give an expose about what is happening, the way it is. So as far as we are concerned, we are availing ourselves the positive side of social media to make sure that we are well represented.
So let's look at balance. Internally, You mentioned earlier about the department organizing town hall meetings. So internally, how are you able to align the goals of the management with the staff? Because I'm sure that there are times when there are conflicts between the staff and the management team. How is your unit able to manage this crisis internally?
What we try to do, especially now that the authority started recruiting new staff as a form of replacement plans, which we never had before. So it is for us now to make sure that we keep on drumming the positive side of very good work ethics on these new ones, and not to the status quo that will end up clipping this place because they have years to spend here. And management on their own have also initiated what we call having a retreats, carrying the young ones along. And it is even a policy in the authority now that whatever communities you are setting up, the younger ones must have to be there to learn from the good people or the experienced ones. So you see that what we are trying to do now is to build a culture that FHA first before me. Because once this place goes down, thousands of people will lose their jobs, including you that think you are trying to aid somebody.
So can you also share with us what challenges you're currently facing and the ones you face in the future? What are you doing to tackle these challenges?
The greatest challenge we are facing as an organization, FHA, is that of economic hardship. The demand for houses are so high, and the means of getting them are very, very few. Of course, in the last weeks or few months, we have started our renewed hope housing program. We have done groundbreaking ceremony. We have done in Uyo. We have done in Kaduna. We are planning to do in Ekiti. We are planning to do in all over the country. So we are having this demand from people. But the question is this: how affordable are these houses? FHA as an organization is not in appropriation. Everything we have done is through internally generated revenue. Your
department is regarded as the image maker. In fact, the MD has painted that image, and he has, like you said, he has also invested a lot into the department. So in the future, what are you doing to improve on the image of FHA, not just on social media, but on other mediums too? That's the print and TV. What are you doing to improve on your image?
Okay, the journey has started. For the first time, the authority has a weekly television program called FHA Weekly, which is on TVC on Thursdays. That's a very wonderful step. Before now, the mention you hear about FHA sparingly in the media organization. But like I told you, we have a managing director who is a media person, and he knows the power of the media and what the media can do. The little we have done now, I've started changing perception, what people hear about us. Our hotlines are there. People make inquiries to ask what is happening. There are a lot of misconceptions. Somebody will have an issue with, for instance, our parent ministry, or you say it's safe. I will say, by the time the person gets close and engage, we say, no, this is not FHA, this is XYZ. The person will say, oh, I was thinking it's this. So in the authority, the management has invested much in this unit, and we are also doing a lot of engagement, to make sure that we sustain our image.
Sam, would you say that the current management somehow is covering up for the internal crisis? Because, for instance, most of the petitions that have come up, if we were able to read them vividly, we would see that it is issues arising inside that is bringing out these petitions. There are people in the organization committing fraud, committing corruption. Is the management doing anything to publish, especially in terms of communicating to the public? Is the management doing anything to bring out these people, let the public know that don't deal with these people? Are there caveats to that effect? Or the management just feels that, okay, these people are not doing anything, they've done something wrong, there's no need for us to tell the public?
Why I tell you these petitions are frivolous, that the artists doing this thing will never be bold enough to put their names. They use studio names, they use untraceable addresses. But they are pointing negatively to the authority. That's why we have to debunk them. It's an internal mechanism. If we're able to spot any of them, of course, the law will take its course. But because we wouldn't hide on the fact that they are frivolous and say, no, we are not going to do anything, we say it the way it is and open our books for you to come and see. Right? By the time we have done this over and over and over, the public became wary of their useless petitions. And of course, they have to stop their market.
And those staffs, what's happening to them?
They are not known. If we see them, they face the music.
Lastly, what message do you have for the public?
Well, the public, I will tell them to keep on believing in FHA. You would rather buy your property where you go and sleep and leave it over for your great-grandchildren to inherit. With history is there. If you go to Sharada Estate, we are there. If you go to Festac, we are there. You go to Gwarimpa, we are there. You go to Egbada, we are there. You go to Golden State, we are there. You go to Kubo, we are there. You go to all over the country. These are our signature. The public have to trust us. We have never incurred or experienced any building collapse of any of our houses. In fact, I forgot to tell you that sometime we had one building in Gwarimpa and one in Asobro here that had a kind of a defect. What we did was to carry out a controlled demolition on our own. We relocated the occupants, brought down the building ourselves, and we are rebuilding it and giving it to them free. That is professionalism. And there is nothing more public relations than that. So the public should trust FHA. Even now that we have a management that is more vibrant, we are going higher, and FHA will be getting better.
Thank you very much for joining us today, sir.
It's my pleasure.
Up next is the voucher.
For in government agency, they have this mindset of, trying to give back. Give to the society. To make things easy to the society, compared to the private developer. They don't want to care whether your earning is low or not. They will just want to rather some hidden charges, exploitation, and is there. But like I said, the government's own property is still the best.
FHA has really been doing well in that regard, and at least you have a low housing from them that people can easily key into and find a way to pay on a gradual note. But that is limited to the numbers of people who are interested. And I think the single digits mortgage interest rate is what we really need in Nigeria. If we can get that and it's well planned, I'm sure a lot of people will be able to key into the housing sector.
Planning to develop on your land within an FHA estate? Here's everything you need to know about why you need a building approval and common mistakes to avoid. Building approval is not just the paperwork. It is your first step to ensure your structure meets planning, safety, and environmental standards. Here are the common mistakes that can delay or deny your building approval. Your building deserves a strong foundation. For more inquiries, contact our customer support or visit www.fha.gov.ng. FHA, uniting Nigerians through housing.
That's it on FHA Weekly. For enquiries, you can visit our website www.fha.gov.ng, or you can engage with us on all social media platforms at FHA Nigeria. I am Ituno Kolawole.